I'm Audrey Foster with Nebraska Extension in Custer County, and I'm their summer employee. Today for our Clover Kid workshop, Explore the Outdoors, we're going to be looking into the Just Outside the Door curriculum. We're going to be making seed medallions, glow-in-the-dark bugs, and wrapping up the day with some ice cream in a bag. For our seed medallions, we're going to need some cardboard. I'm using cardboard from an old cereal box that I will cut apart. We also need a pencil, possibly a ruler to measure out our 3-inch circle, a pair of scissors, a single hole punch, some Elmer's glue. I'm using this tape as my measure quantity because we need to measure a 3-inch circle, or 3 inches in diameter, and you may need an adult's help with this, but I've measured the inside of this roll of tape and it measures 3 inches. So this is what I'm going to be using for my template, or to measure stuff. And then you're also going to need a variety of different seeds and beans. I have everything here from peas and corn to black beans, but you could also use different things like pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. And then once I put together my seed medallion and it's dried, I have a paintbrush and some Mod Podge, but you could also use some spray to finish it. The instructions for our seed medallions can also be found on page 28 in the Leader's Manual for Just Outside the Door. Our first step for this is going to be to deconstruct our cereal box, and then we'll cut out a circle. Now that my cereal box is deconstructed, I'm going to go ahead and use my template to create a 3-inch circle. Remember how I said that this is 3 inches around the center of this? So I'm going to use that. You could also use a compass or any other shape. Notice how I traced my circle on the edge of the box and not in the very center. This saves room for cardboard for other crafts or projects, or if I wanted to create more seed medallions. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Now that I have it cut out, I'm going to go ahead and punch a single hole punch near the edge. Just like that. There we go. My next step is to apply a very thick layer of glue all over here. Oh, before I get started, I should probably lay down some newspaper so that I don't get my countertop all sticky. Also, where we're working with glue, you will want to wear some old clothes. Now that I have my thick layer of glue, I'm going to go ahead and design a pattern with my beans. And I have some assorted ones here, but I'm going to start with a piece of corn in my center. You can do this however you'd like. There's no wrong way. Now that I have all my seeds and beans arranged, I'm going to let the glue dry for a couple hours. Now that our seed medallion has dried, I'm going to go ahead and cover it in a layer of Mod Podge. You could also use a spray sealant at this time. This Mod Podge will dry clear, so it's okay that it's kind of thick on there. There we go. Now I get to let it dry for a while longer. Once your seed medallion has dried, you can go ahead and use it as a decoration, or else you can truly treat it as a medallion and attach a piece of yarn or string to it. For this, you just want to measure out about 2 feet worth of yarn, or however long is comfortable for you and your neck. Then you'll go ahead and clip it, and you can thread it through your seed medallion. My hole got a little bit covered by the Mod Podge, so I'm just going to go ahead and re-poke it slightly. Now my seed medallion has been attached to a string, so you can go ahead and wear it. I think that these medallions would be great if you're looking for some type of a fall ornament or fall decoration. For this project, you're going to need a rinsed out empty bottle and lid, 2 googly eyes, a sheet of construction paper for the wings, 4 pipe cleaners. The construction paper and pipe cleaners can be any colors. I just decided to go with black. You'll need 3 of the pipe cleaners for legs and 1 for antennas. You'll need a pencil, scissors, glow sticks, And then I'm using hot glue to attach my items to my bottle. Also, you can feel free to get creative with this and add paint, especially glow-in-the-dark paint, or glitter or sequins to your creature. Our first step is going to be to draw the wings. And you can make the wings any shape you want. I'm gonna draw one and then I'll cut it out and trace around it for the second one. At this point, if I wanted to paint my wings with glow-in-the-dark paint, that could be a cool step. You could also paint them however else you want. If you're gonna be doing a lot of painting, white paper may work best. Okay. So next up, I'm gonna go ahead and attach my legs. So for this, I'm gonna start with my middle set of legs, and all I'm gonna do is take my pipe cleaner, wrap it around my bottle, and then I'm gonna twist it at the bottom for my legs. And this isn't super secure right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my hot glue. Hot glue can be tricky to use, so you may want an adult's help. And I'm just gonna put a few dots around my bottle, just to secure the legs in place. So I put a dot right there, and I'm gonna do one for sure at the top and the bottom. But you can put however many you'd like to. Now and you notice how I have that label on my bottle? I'm gonna go ahead and position that so it's gonna be underneath my wings. At this point, if your legs are slightly uneven, like some of mine are, if you want, you can go ahead and even them out with a pair of scissors, but you don't necessarily have to. It's just your preference. And I think I'm gonna trim up a couple of mine. Next up, since we have the legs, I'm gonna go ahead and attach the eyes to my head here, which is gonna be my little lid. So I'm gonna put 2 dots of hot glue to secure the eyes. Then for my antennas, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the middle of my pipe cleaner. I'm just folding it in half so then I can find the middle easily. And we're gonna secure our pipe cleaners around the top of our bottle. And we're gonna do it kind of opposite of the legs. Is I'm gonna start with putting a glue on the bottom of the head. And then I can wrap my pipe cleaner around it. And then I can put a dot of glue at the top. And then I'll twist it. Just like that. And these are some really long antennas, but you can make them whatever length you want. Then I can go ahead and screw on the head. Oh, okay. That was lucky that my eyes were right side up. You may want to fasten on the lid before you hot glue them on. And next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach the wings. And remember that in any part in this process, you can go ahead and be painting your bottle or glitterizing it or anything you want to it to make it more unique and original. This is just the basics of it. Also, you could go ahead and put a whole bunch more legs on this or antennas if you wanted to. It's your creation. Don't forget to be thinking about what you want to name your bug and where you think your bug would live, such as would it live here in Nebraska or maybe in the rainforest or maybe in Antarctica? I don't know. You've got to think about that. Okay, so to attach the wings, I'm going to go ahead and put a line of glue on my bug. And I'm going to press on my wings. I'm going to do that for each of them. There we go. That is the basics of your bug. Once you get done and when it gets to be dark out, you can go ahead and take your glow sticks and crack them and put them inside of your bottle and then you can see it glow. I'm gonna go do that with one of mine. So I found a dark spot and I'm just going ahead and cracking my glow stick. Once it's all nice and cracked, I think that this would be a great 4th of July activity while you're waiting for fireworks. And I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew the lid. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my glow stick inside. And I think this is where if I had glow-in-the-dark paint, it'd be super cool. But there's my glowing bug. You can go ahead and play with these outside or hide them or have a scavenger hunt with them. Anything you like, but I think the glow-in-the-dark element makes it kind of fun. Today, we're gonna be making ice cream in a bag. For this, you're going to need milk and heavy whipping cream, or else instead of these two, you can just use half and half, vanilla, sugar, ice, and salt. You'll also need a small Ziploc bag and a large one. For your small Ziploc bag, you do not want to go with a cheap bag for this because otherwise your ice and salt will leak through and your ice cream will get all salty. So you want to go with a heavy-duty freezer bag for this. Okay. So to get started, we're gonna go ahead and measure out 1 cup of half and half, or else half a cup of milk and half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Next, we'll measure out our 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. This may be a time when it's useful to have someone else present to hold your bag for you. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now I'm going to very carefully seal my bag and press all the excess air out. But I want to be careful not to spill my ingredients all over my counter. There we go. And you want to make sure it's sealed nice and tight so that then you don't get your salt water in there. Next, I'm going to take the larger Ziploc bag and I'm going to fill it about halfway with ice, and I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of salt. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my smaller bag into my larger bag, and then I'm gonna seal up my large bag. Now we're ready to start shaking our bag for about 6 minutes. However, this process can get a little bit chilly, so I would suggest either going to grab mittens or else even oven mitts. And when you shake this, make sure to do it outside. We're using heavy-duty bags, but in case one breaks, it'd be better to have it break outside versus inside on your kitchen floor. So you're gonna go ahead and shake it outside, and remember to use gloves because the salt makes the ice extra cold. So I finished shaking mine, and it now feels hard to the touch. So I've gone ahead and brought it inside, and I'm gonna take it out of both my bags, or I'm gonna take my little ice cream bag out of both my bags, and I'm gonna rinse it off with cold water to get all that salt water off. Now I'm gonna carefully scoop my ice cream out of the bag and put it in a bowl. It's a lot of ice cream, so feel free to share it with either a sibling or a parent, especially if they helped you to shake it while it got really cold. Also, you could try putting different ingredients inside of this, like maybe trying to put in chocolate syrup or crushed Oreo or even strawberries. You could also top it with all sorts of these toppings as well. Here's what your finished ice cream will look like. Now that we've created our glow-in-the-dark bugs, seed medallions, and hopefully had a tasty treat of ice cream, I can't wait to see what you guys create at Fair.